Down in Atlanta where rhythm drums strong, riders unite after a whole year gone. Heritage and history blended so sweet, a family reunion.
All right, so welcome our guest, Dr. Alvin Glay. You are helping transform brands through the power of storytelling. Is that correct?
I like to think so.
Yeah? Tell us more about yourself. Tell us how you got started in the industry and kind of what you do.
So, my name is Alvin Glay. I am an author. I just wrote a book called Liberian Boy, Triumph Over War Shadow. So this book is about me as a refugee at the age of 7.
Wow.
And I spent 7 years, pretty much navigating that without getting an education.
Wow.
So I came to the U.S. when I was 15 years old. So imagine from 7 to 15, no formal education. And, here I am today. There's a name called Dr. Alvin Glay. So I wrote this book really to tell my story because, there's a lot of narrative around immigrants. And there is a narrative around, when you go to college, you're supposed to get a good job. And that never happened for me. So I talked about that, in this book when I came out to Georgia State. We were around Georgia State, which is what I went and got my undergrad in finance and my doctorate from as well. And it never happened. And I was valet parking cars in Atlanta.
As a doctor?
No, with a bachelor in finance.
Wow.
From Georgia State for 3 years. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm talking all of this, and during that moment is when I was like, I need to figure something out because I can't have a bachelor in finance from a top 20 school in the U.S. and I'm valet parking cars.
Right.
So I went on the internet and learned about digital marketing, and that's what I've been doing for 20 years now.
Wow. And so does your book kind of show that transformation, basically from that parking lot attendant,
Yes.
kind of coming into the man you are today?
Yes. So I talk about the experience where some of my classmates used to come to the clubs I used to valet park and throw their keys at me. So imagine you sat in a classroom with a bunch of folks, right? And then, they go out and have these fancy jobs, and at the club, you're taking their keys and parking it. That took like a personal, like an ego thing.
Yeah.
But I had to focus on the mission, which is about, I want to make it. And it didn't matter in that moment. Did I feel terrible? Of course. But it was bigger than that. So I talk about that in my book. And then eventually I became successful. But in 2019, my brother was murdered because he was helping, someone who was getting assaulted. He didn't know.
Right.
And that changed my life because he was my younger brother and I didn't think he was going to pass away. And that helped me understand that every day we wake up,
Right.
we think about tomorrow's guaranteed, but it ain't.
Right.
And that changed my life. So I talked about how it did change my life, my perspective. And, in my writing in this book, I talk about time, T-I-M-E, not the clock, not the calendar, but in the context of today is not everything. And that's how I live my life in purpose and presence.
You said today is my everything?
Correct.
That is awesome. So every day you wake up, again, like it's your last, but like we're putting it all on the table.
I live in purpose and presence.
That's awesome.
And that's what I do for a living. I'm the chief strategy officer at an agency, a marketing agency called Response Media, a 45-year-old organization. I'm a partner there as well. And I help brands like Infamel, Ocean Spray. Really, all of my speech and my strategy focus on inclusive marketing.
Awesome.
And really it's all about creating marketing, not just for people to buy a product, but to connect with people.
Yeah, the storytelling.
Because people buy a product because it's to seek some form of an identity, right? Like people buy Jordans because Michael Jordan represented us.
Absolutely.
Right? That Jordan Duncan is like, you feel invincible.
Right.
And so I focus a lot on my work on inclusive marketing.
That is beautiful. And so when it comes to your book, what do you think other storytellers will gain, from reading your book?
I started the book, I said, when you see people, you see them in the now. But often, and we judge them about that, right? Why he's so successful, why she or he is not successful in their current moment, right? And we judge them based off of that, but we don't stop to ask, like, what is their story?
Mm-hmm.
How did they get here?
Right.
Because then when you ask those questions, that's how you drive connection. You can be like, wow, that's my story too.
Exactly.
So my book is all about people finding power in their stories and writing it down. You don't have to be famous.
Right.
Just write it down. And you'll be surprised, sometimes it's healing for you.
Right. Let me ask you this. What do you feel like is the most powerful piece of your own personal story?
Oh man, I learned a lot about myself.
Yeah.
Since writing it down, I think my ability to just being resilient, my mindset about is, mindset of it matters. Basically what it is, it doesn't matter as long as I'm committed to overcoming it. I will. And if I had to put that in sort of a sentence or a mantra, it's like there's beauty on the other side of suffering. And I think about that in every single situation. If it's good or if it's bad, there's beauty on the other side of suffering.
That is wonderful. It's funny, my father is from Nigeria, and so he has a very similar background in terms of like the refugee fighting in the wars and everything like that. When you came to America and that time that you spent, what was that culture shock like from that?
When you spend 7 years, I'll spend my years running away from planes, dropping bombs, walking and hunger and all that stuff. When I came here, at first it's exciting. Mm-hmm. You've made it. Mm-hmm. It's the promised land, so to speak. But then I faced sort of like belonging and identity. Because then it's like, you're not from here, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to figure out, do I give up who I am to be accepted, right? Or do I maintain my identity but still figure out how to navigate those spaces? And that's challenging. I think a lot of people of immigrant descent experience that. Because when I came, you carried the accent. Yeah. Right? And you get teased for that. Or, oh, I can't understand you, need to speak my language, right? You carry the trauma. Yeah. And you got to heal from that. And then you got to figure out how to navigate the spaces in your new land.
And then what about the reverse side of it though, right? Because number one, it feels like you didn't lose your identity in all of this, right? But I have so many friends and contemporaries who go home because they had to lose their identity, because they did try to fit in, and then now, you don't sound like us. Now they don't sound the same. So it's like now you get treated differently back home. Do you ever find when you do go home, when you do meet family, that there's a different reception now that, you're a little bit more Americanized?
Oh man, it's crazy. What is interesting, you're trying to figure out how to adapt to your new land. Yeah. And you adapt and now you're not accepted back because you're not like us. Or you sound like the white man, so to speak. Exactly. I think for me it's like what I've done and what I encourage people to do is that you don't have to lose your identity to integrate. And that means staying around your culture and being part of it. What I did was, I stayed part of the Liberian community, and that was where I maintained sort of that culture, and I stayed connected. I speak my local colloquial. So when I go back home, I try to, it's like I never left. When I get those perspectives, for me it's all about, I gain such a knowledge that I don't come back like I'm bigger than you or I'm better than you. It's just life forced me to go somewhere, and I just took advantage of it. And I'm here to help share my knowledge.
Beautiful. I think that's a beautiful lesson in this, though, in just anything. As we're entering these spaces, as writers, as we're all dope creators coming up in this dispensation of creators, I love that you can say you didn't lose your identity, you didn't lose yourself, right? And so I think as a Liberian boy coming through and coming over to America, knowing that you kept your identity, I think there's something to be said. No matter what space you're in, you don't have to leave a country, you can be going into celebrity and not lose your identity. So that was an amazing story, powerful story. And tell everybody where they can find you and pick up the book.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
It's available on Amazon. You can find it there, Liberian Boy, Triumph War Shadow. You can also, if you follow me on IG, Dr. Alvin Glay, there's a link there you can buy it, or you can go to dralvinglay.com. It's also available there.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you again, Dr. Glay. We look forward to reading about the Liberian Boy.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Down in Atlanta where rhythm drums strong, riders unite after a whole year gone. Heritage and history blended so sweet, a family reunion beat by beat. Ink on the page, hearts in a dance, past meets the future at every chance. Creativity flows like a beat so true, a family reunion, this joy is for you. Good vibes all rise and change on the way, we celebrate